Well, hey everybody, welcome to Cooking with Chef CoCo. My name is Walda Collins, but fondly known as Chef CoCo. And today we're gonna whip it up lover's style. You know, this is February, the month of Valentine's Day, and the month where love kind of fills the air. So I just wanna introduce to some, and maybe the rest of you already know about the deliciousness of spicy Latin Mexican foods. So today we're gonna whip up a nice fajita trio along with a butter garlic smashed potato. I know you're probably thinking potatoes and fajitas. Well, my thought with that is not everyone wants the tortilla, or maybe just me not wanting the tortilla, but I'm gonna pair it with these garlic smashed potatoes that you won't be able to let go of. So stick with me and we're gonna whip this thing right on up. So first I am going to start with the potatoes because they take a little longer to cook. So I have washed, rinsed, dried my potatoes, and I have these cute little small nugget potatoes, new potatoes, baby potatoes, however you want to give them a name. They are potatoes, they are tiny, they're cute, and they're delicious. So first, I'm going to start with lining my pan. I just have a small pan because we don't have very many potatoes. I'm gonna line that with a little bit of foil. We'll get that going first. Line my pan with some foil. And one thing I have to tell you all, in the kitchen, you gotta have clean hands. Oh my gosh, there seems to be so many more germs and things in the air these days. When you come in from outside, wash your hands. When you come into your kitchen, wash your hands. When you go into your refrigerator, before you do, wash your hands. And I'm gonna leave that right there so we can get on going with this meal. So for my potatoes, I'm gonna just drizzle them while they're in the bowl. I'm gonna drizzle them with a little bit of my avocado oil. That's what I like to use. And once I drizzle those with oil, I'm gonna add a little bit of salt for good measure. Yep, just like that. Add a little salt. And we're just gonna give those a toss. We're gonna toss those around really good. The oil on the dry potatoes give them a nice little crisp, while, you know, the salt, of course, we're gonna be eating the skin, and so we want the skin to be clean, but we want it to be seasoned also. So I just add a little salt, little oil. I'm gonna add a little oil to my pan just to make sure they don't stick, just a little bit. We're gonna add oil to the pan, and then guess what? We're just gonna add those potatoes to it, just like so. And guess what? Those go right into the oven. So we're gonna get these in an oven of about 425 degrees for about 20-25 minutes until they're done. And I'll be right back. So the potatoes are in the oven. We're gonna get those going. We're gonna keep those going, and we're going to go ahead and season up our meat. So this is a fajita trio. I know we're doing couples things, but this is a trio just for dinner tonight, okay? Don't get me wrong with that. So for our fajita trio, we have a chicken breast. We have not jumbo, but colossal shrimp. We're gonna season these all up really good. And typically, fajitas use what we call skirt steak. And I use what I had, which was New York strip. I've marinated that thing. It's ready to go. It's ready to be seared off. We have our cast iron skillet heating up, getting nice and hot. So what we're going to do, we're gonna season up our meats, our proteins with my spicy jar of love. This is the love jar, and I'll let y'all know about that soon. But what we're gonna do is open up the love jar, and you can smell the aroma of the spices. They are so good. so enticing, if you will, and just a bit, you know, spicy. So in my love jar, I'm gonna add these spices to our meats. Like I said, I have a New York strip that has been marinated overnight, and we're just gonna add some spices from the love jar. We're gonna get that turned over. We're gonna add a little more spice from the love jar. Y'all gotta know, red spices. Y'all know the red spices. Paprika, cayenne, chili powder. Those are the love spices. So we're gonna add a little bit more of the love spice on the second side of our protein. This is our New York strip. Typically, like I said, we would use skirt steak, but we're using what we had from the butcher, which was New York strip. Second, we're gonna season up. We're gonna season up the chicken breast. Now I did fillet the chicken breast a little bit, just to make sure, one, it gets done in a good amount of time, but also because I don't really like thicker portions of meat. So I've filleted it to make sure that it's not thick and it's the nice thickness that I would like it to be. So we're gonna take a little more spice from our love jar. Sprinkle it on. Throw a little more over there. Throw a little bit on there. And guess what? Just a little bit of salt for the extra love. Throw some salt on there. We're gonna throw some salt on our shrimp as well. So we're just taking our love spice and we're just gonna season up all of our proteins with the love spice. And this spice, it smells delicious. Then I have a little tricky spice that I like. This is a cilantro lime garlic. And we're just gonna add a little bit of that. And it's a salt-free. We've already added our salt. So the cilantro lime garlic is salt-free, but it adds such a tanginess to our meats. And we're just gonna season those up, get those ready. I can smell those potatoes getting nice and hot. We're gonna give our shrimp a stir. Probably add a little bit more of that love spice to it. Don't y'all just love that, the love spice? We're gonna add that to our shrimp as well to make sure it is well covered, well seasoned, and ready to go. We're gonna sear off our beef first. We're gonna sear off our steak and get that going. I believe the pan is nice and hot and ready to go. So we're gonna put that in. We'll let it go first. And my pan was already seasoned and my meat was already marinated. So it should be pretty good, but we can always add a little bit of oil just to make sure. And we're gonna let that beef go for about 3 minutes on each side. I don't like it too tough, and I like a little pink in the middle. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let that beef sear off. We're gonna get that going, and we'll be right back. So it's smelling amazing in the kitchen. Our steak is coming off the grill. Then we're gonna add our chicken breast in the pan, and then we're gonna sear off the shrimp. Here we go. That steak is beautiful. It's delicious. Oh my gosh. We're gonna add a little bit more of our avocado oil to our pan. And we're gonna sear off the chicken breast. Ooh, if y'all could have smell-o-vision, I promise you it smells amazing in the kitchen. So while our chicken breast is searing, we're gonna go ahead and get our veggies ready. So we're gonna use red pepper, green pepper, and some onion to sear off our vegetables. But you know, as we say, this is the season of love. But I have so many single friends. I have so many single friends who, you know, they just chill with, you know, their homegirls, their guy friends. They just kind of, you know, do life like that. And there's absolutely, in fact, my hat's off to them. But you know, I just always ponder, even in my marriage, even in my, you know, this thing is about, you know, everybody wants to date, everybody wants companionship, everybody, you know, wants that special someone. And so, how do you do life in a state of singleness? You know, when, you know, there's no guy or no special gal in your life. How do you do life in a state of singleness? And one of the things that I've learned from a couple of my friends who I'm really close to that are single is, you know what? It's just not always about a man or a woman, if you will, although that's a desire. Sometimes we have to get comfortable being okay with being alone or being okay. I call it being still. And so I think, you know, we just can't allow the world's holidays, if you will, to make us think or feel that we have to be with someone. Because let me tell y'all something. I've been in this marriage game for almost 30 years. And you know what? We're still trying to get it right. We're still trying to get the right measurements and the right recipe of life and love. And guess what? Things constantly change. Things are not going to always be hunky-dory. They're not going to always be greater than sliced bread, if you will. In fact, it's a lot of work. And we're going to get back to that. Let me flip this chicken breast and I'll be back. Oh, y'all, this is looking delicious. If your chicken breast doesn't look like that, you might want to put it back in the pan and let it go a little longer. We'll let that cook a little bit longer as we finish chopping up our veggies. Oh, my word. It's a party, y'all. And it's a love party. And love, let me tell you, is not a feeling. That's something I just really, really want to share. That love is not a feeling. You can feel good, and feelings come and go. Feelings disappear. Feelings don't stay. They ebb and flow. And boy, I tell you, if you think love is based on a feeling, you'll feel more less loved than you do loved if you're waiting on it to feel good all the time. Love doesn't feel good all the time. You know, love is patient. Love is kind. Love is accepting. Love is compromise. Love is sacrifice. And guess what? 99% of the time, it's not even about you. It's not even about you. But it's about your heart's posture. It's about your attitude. When things don't go the way you want them to go, when you don't feel things are working out for your good, can you still love? You know, you might get in a season where I don't like you, but I sure gotta love you. Y'all, that's deep right there. That's so deep. I'll be back. So our chicken is being seared off. I've chopped up our veggies, getting those prepared to go in. We're gonna pull that chicken out. But I was just talking about love. You know, love is patient, love is kind, love is, you know, more than us being in a feeling, if you will. And when you're in a relationship, the initial relationship, yeah, it's the feelings are good, the emotions are high, everything is going well. But then when all of that stuff wears off, you know, and for me, who's been in the game for almost 30 years, when a lot of that stuff wears off, where do you go? What do you turn to? What is it that you can connect with that keeps you going? So we're gonna add our shrimp to the pan. I left you with that question. I left you hanging with that question. Where do you go when things just kind of mellow out and you're fussing, your emotions are high, but in a different way? Where do you go? What do you have left? What do you hang on to? You know, because a lot of times you're going to be on some cliffhangers. You're going to be in a space where, oh, this don't look good. This ain't what I got into. This ain't what I married. You're not the same anymore. Honey, I'm going to tell you, all of that's going to happen in a relationship. So we're putting our shrimps down. We'll get those seared off for a couple of minutes. But yeah, seriously. So you have to have somewhere, something to turn to. And let me tell you, everybody can't be in your business. But you do have to have someone that you can communicate with. You do have to have someone that you can talk to. You do have to have someone that you can confide in, but not someone who's going to tell you what you want to hear. All right, y'all. So you dating people, yeah. Enjoy the emotional highs. Enjoy what comes with it. And, you know, when you're single and dating, I'm going to tell it like my mama used to tell me. Reserve yourself, honey. Man or woman, reserve yourself, because when it really comes down to it, he'll know or she will know whether you're the one or not, without you ever having to, you know, divide the beat. I'm going to let that hang out with you, let that resonate with you for a minute, and I'll be back, y'all. You hear? So what do y'all think? What do you think about that? What do you think about being able to date and reserve yourself? What do you think about being married and those feelings kind of taper off somewhere along the way? Knowing how to, one, sustain in a relationship is important. And sustaining yourself, whether you're married, sustaining yourself means that you're going to have to contend with, you know, different attitudes, fluctuating attitudes. You're going to have to contend with some things, some fluctuating personalities as you age. How do you sustain yourself when those things happen? Again, and then even in a single a state of singleness, you know, how do you sustain yourself and not be given to give yourself away? How do you sustain in those two situations? And I just believe it all goes back to that recipe of love. If you really say you love me in our state of singleness, you'll wait for me. And if you really say you love me when I'm having a difficult time, personality-wise, emotional-wise, hormone-wise, as a married woman that's aging, if you really say you love me, you're going to deal with me in the good and the bad. Come on, y'all. I'm for real. That's really a good way to assess love. It's a good way to assess relationships. It's just a good way to put a pulse on where you stand in someone's life. So we are moving on in this meal. Our meats are seared. We're going to sear off our vegetables, which we have red pepper, bell pepper, and onions. In the meantime, I've taken our potatoes out of the oven. I'm letting those cool a little bit, and then I'm just gonna smash them real good and then add some of our deliciousness from our jar of love to them, and I'm gonna put them back in the oven for about 5 more minutes. So let's get this party started now. Ow! Let's get this party started quickly. Ow! I am back, ready to toss the peppers and onions into this hot sizzling skillet. And then we're gonna finish off our potatoes. Y'all, it's been a good day. It's a good day to have a good day. It's nice and sunny here in San Antonio, Texas. And look, I just can't complain. I don't know about you, but it won't do me no good. So we just won't do that. We're going to be grateful. We're going to rejoice in this day. We're going to rejoice in this season we call the love season. So I'm going to sear off peppers, onions, and y'all, that just simply smells delicious. While those are working though, we're going to do a little magic with our potatoes. So remember those potatoes we put in the oven about 20 minutes or so ago? We're just gonna smash those real good. And I just have a little container. I actually have the little container that I use to hold my salt. That's all I need. Just a little container, something to smash the potatoes. You see, once they're done, they smash very easily. So these are our garlic smashed potatoes, and once you get those nice and smushed, we're gonna here we go down to the good part. Get down to the good part. So we're gonna get down to the good part. We're gonna drizzle these potatoes in a little bit of melted butter that has some golden brown delicious seasonings in there. So we're gonna drizzle that all over our potatoes, get them nice and drenched. And guess what, y'all? We can't do the potatoes without a little bit of the love sauce. So we're gonna sprinkle a little bit of our love sauce, salt, seasonings. Y'all remember the love seasoning? You know, the red spices are the love spices. So we got our love seasonings and spices going on there. Give them a nice little healthy dose of the love seasoning. You'll get the recipe. Don't worry what's in the love sauce. But we got a little paprika, garlic powder, cayenne, chili powder. So in our love seasonings, we put that all over our potatoes. And guess what? We're going to take a teaspoon of salsa, drizzle that over each potato. Y'all know. Don't have to be pretty. It don't have to be fancy. Just do it. Just do it because it tastes good. Y'all know. All right. So we're going to get these. You know what? We're going to, while our peppers and onions are sauteing, we are going to get our garlic smashed potatoes back in the oven for about 5 more minutes. While that's going, I want to take a little bit of lime. I have some limes here. And I think everything deserves a squirt of lime. So y'all, we are about at the end of our cooking road with the Fajita Trio. Our beautiful potatoes are done. Our meats, our proteins are done. Our veggies are done. So I'm gonna whip out this last little piece. I'm gonna make some tableside guac. Oh yeah, this recipe is no good without some tableside guac. So we're just gonna scoop out our avocados, and I'm not gonna go into a whole lot of additives or anything in there. I've got some fresh avocado. Caught it. I've got some fresh avocado that I'm gonna scoop out into this dish. I'm gonna add a little salt, a little garlic to it. So the avocado is nice and ripe and ready to go. We're just gonna give that a good chop, a good smash. Yep. Just the way I like it. So we're gonna give our avocado a good chop. I just used one small avocado. You can use as many as you like. I'm gonna add a little salt to that. A little lime juice. Yup, lime juice makes the world go round, honey. And you know what? I'm a cheat, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of my salsa to it because I can. And we're gonna chop that up real good, make it smooth. And of course, a little garlic powder goes with that. I'm gonna use my lemon, cilantro, garlic, add a dose of that to it. And then we're gonna come out with the magic, y'all. Here we go. But you know, as we get to the end of our course of our meal, I just want to share the message that in a season where some people have hope, some people have lost hope, some people have a significant other that they can love on and be with, and we have those that just don't. But wherever you are in your season, let love prevail. The love that is patient, the love that is kind, the love that can love you even when I don't quite like the way you are. Let love be the thing that prevails in every relationship, in everything you do. Just love as unto the Lord. So let's whip this whole meal together. Let's bring everything together, and I'll be right back. So we have whipped up our fajitas. We're gonna top this with a little bit of our fajita butter. This is so amazing. We're gonna top it with our fajita butter. Y'all wanna know and there's nothing like a fajita with lime. Gotta have the lime. And then we'll just add a little bit of our last little bit of flavoring. Y'all hear the sizzle? It's got a little sizzle to it. It's got a little sizzle to it. Top it off with our beautiful cilantro. This is an amazing dish, filled with a lot of love, a lot of spice. You know what? Y'all go ahead and head over to the comments. Let me know what you think. Look, I need somebody to make it. Give me a little bit more lime on there. And here we are with a beautiful, and of course, we got our guacamole on the side. A little salsa, a little guacamole, a little fresh lime, and we have an amazing, beautiful, oh my word, guacamole. Can't do this dish without some guacamole, for sure. And y'all, that's it. If you want to have this with tortillas, we got some tortillas for you, honey. We got tortillas for you. Me, I'm gonna have it with these potatoes, the steak, and the shrimp. All right, I hope you all have enjoyed this segment of Cooking with Chef CoCo. My name is Walda Collins. You can find me out there on social media, Facebook, under Walda Collins, Instagram, but also go check out my website, waldacollins.com. Go over to the Woman Dare to Live page, and you'll see recipes, upcoming events, and things that we're hosting for women's empowerment to help women live and lead, dare to live and lead the life they were called to. So I'm gonna check out this Fajita Trio that we've concocted here and just see what we got going on. A little guacamole. Try a piece of steak and a potato. And some veggies. Ooh, yum. Here goes. That's all I got, y'all. That's all I got. As we wrap up the Fajita Trio, you may be wondering, it got a little hot in this kitchen. So I had to come out the whole dress up thing. Yes, I'm a chef, but sometimes you just have to be queued up under there to make sure if you have to come out of that coat, you're still looking good for your honey, for your loved one, for your, for your girls' night or whatever. But anyways, you don't have to do all the formality. Just be you in the kitchen and make sure, you're just cute up under the coat. All right, y'all. Check me out. Social media, Walda Collins. My website, waldacollins.com. Peace.